You just heard Jerk by the Front Bottoms off of the album In Sickness and Flames. Today we're going to be talking some professional wrestling. Your host is me, Daniel Sala. We are back in a new year. We're going to be looking at TNA Impact and their debut on AMC, and that was Thursday night. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, opens it up with the I Am theme song. He comes out. You can tell he's really excited to be there. I'm just spitballing, but I think he's going to have a match. And this show really does a good job at foreshadowing that. And he's just excited to be there. Hypes that, we got a lot of wrestling to get to TNA chant going. And there was a few times AMC chant got going tonight, so that was really cool to see. Formerly Elias from WWE came out. He is at TNA now with these Elijah. This is his first match back in 6 months, and he's playing like a cowboy character here. He's got the cowboy hat, and he hogtied Mustafa Ali and just drug him to the outside of the arena. Um, and it was just crazy to see him just riding a horse. And so they're in a feud right now. So Elijah and the Hardys, who are formerly the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, WWE fame. They've been everywhere after that, and they're doing a really good job in TNA right now. Um, but yeah, guys, it is a really good match that starts out the show. Elijah and the Hardys go up against Mustafa Ali and his group of the Great Hands, um, and it's good stuff. I liked it. I think the Hardys have not lost their touch. I started watching them in like 2006. So, and even Matt Hardy before that, 2004. So, after the match, though, the Hardys, they ended up winning with Elijah. And they get jumped by a big fella at the end of the match. But the Righteous, who are in a feud with the Hardys right now, come back out and they act like they're going there to save the Hardys, but they end up jumping both Matt and Jeff, cutting a promo at the end, sets up their match for Genesis. So I like that. I like the Righteous. I think they're doing a really good job at, really doing an ode to the Wyatts, which the Wyatts, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and then eventually Braun Strowman. Good group, and just I think the Righteous do a good job of filling that vibe that's been kind of missing, and it's cool to see. The Righteous have been kind of everywhere too. Ring of Honor, AEW, and then I think they're doing some of their best stuff here in TNA. Go up next, got Ryan Nemeth, who is Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler's brother, younger brother. Goes up to Celebrity Row. Guys there from the show Dark Winds, gonna be on AMC in February. And so Ryan Nemeth is kind of just running his mouth, and then he goes to jump over the rail to get to the celebrities, and he crotches himself and makes a fool of himself. One of them chops him, and he falls down. And so, yeah, we cut to Kazarian, who is the TNA World Champion right now, TNA mainstay. He's cutting a promo about his match later with Santana for the world title. And AJ Styles comes up, looks at his belt after, Kazarian was. I think it's kind of on AJ because he knew Kazarian was cutting a promo and he kind of came in the shot. That's what I'm saying. So I think they're foreshadowing a match with them because AJ looks at Kazarian's belt, right? And you think, oh, they're going to have a match. There's history there. I think that could be something. And Kaz says to AJ, says, say thanks for the house. And AJ just looks at the belt, And so I think that's going to be something there. Santino comes out. They show a video package of him and his daughter, and she kicked him in the nuts, and he fell down. And so he says he needs some help with authority and cut music, and we're gonna get Daria Ray. She comes out on the screen. It says the suit. So she comes down and she starts praising TNA, AMC, Santino, everything he's doing. Santino Marella, by the way, WWE guy who was really funny at doing like silly comedy, and he made it his thing. And I think he cracked me up as a kid, and it's funny seeing him here now as an authority figure. But she starts praising him and all that stuff, and then she turns it around and tears him down and tells him he's unfit to lead, and he can't even keep his family, whatever. So she just turns heel, introduces Elena Black, who was Cora Jade in WWE, left, and then she's here now as a new knockout. So I did end up taking notes on this because I think some people will see the production and they'll say what they'll say, but I was just looking at this as far as a person coming in and just watching a wrestling show, and I really thought this was, as far as matches, the matches I had no problem with. The Inspiration versus Ash by Elegance, that was a pretty competitive match. Well, Ash by Elegance, the Elegance brand or whatever you want to call it, they came out and really cut a heel promo and was talking with Perez Hilton, who fashion influencer. He was out there, and then they introduced Mr. Elegance, who was AJZ. So we'll see how that goes. The match with the Inspiration, who were the Iconics in WWE, and then I just like how TNA. You can say that they use former WWE. You can say whatever, but I mean, the people are still there, and they're able to make a living. I think it's a cool thing. This was a really, like I said, competitive match, but the Elegance brand ended up winning the Knockouts tag titles. So title change real early in the show. Cut to Stacks and Ariana Grace, Ariana Grande. No, Ariana Grace, who is Santino Marella's daughter, right? And she's playing a heel now and a defiant against her dad. And she says that Stacks is gonna win and defy and go against her dad for his little girl. So whatever that means. So then we get to video package through the night. They had video packages for the X Division, the women, and the world title. Ken Shamrock was the first TNA World Champion. If you didn't know that, Ken Shamrock, UFC, mixed martial arts, WWEF back in the day. I think he's very underrated as a professional wrestler too. By the way, AJ Styles talks to Santana backstage. Pretty much just says, go out there and beat Kazarian. And, Santana just says thanks. Indy Hartwell and the brand, the Elegance brand, they have a little backstage where the Elegance brand says, well, we don't follow your dreams, and we just make it happen. We don't just say we're gonna follow our dreams. We make it happen. So then Indy Hartwell just says, well, I'll talk to Santino, and then they leave. So that was that. So yeah, I like how the women are getting more spotlight in today's professional wrestling, because we all know how that's fluctuated up and down, how women have been used. But we cut to Santino says that there's going to be an open challenge at Genesis for Li Ying Li's Knockouts world title. So she comes out with Zaya Brookside, and she says that, yeah, there's going to be an open challenge, and then she's out there with Santino. Well, then Sol Ruca and Zarya come out and say, hey, from NXT, and they say, hey, we were here for the tag team title match, but, we saw an opportunity with the Knockouts title. So Sol Ruca has the mic and says, yeah, Zarya, you are the one that is deserving of this chance. So they end up doing that. and it's gonna be Zarya versus Lee Ying Lee at the Genesis pay per view. So yeah, guys, I thought this pay per view, the show, it feels like a pay per view because it is their debut on AMC, but the show has been good as far as like they've introduced some new people into the fold, and the matches have been pretty solid. Santina goes backstage with Cedric Alexander, and he says that Leon Slater will not be at Genesis or here tonight at the show, and that little update, spoiler alert if you haven't known. Apparently, Leon Slater was at SmackDown tonight, so yeah, that's why he was not there at the AMC debut or gonna be at Genesis. So they announced that to the crowd. The crowd kind of boos, but and he explained it visa issues, and so they go over the Genesis card. The system comes out. I like the system. Eddie Edwards, Dirty Dango, Moose, Brian Myers. They're in a group with Eddie Edwards' wife. And it's good stuff. Dango's going to be wrestling Eddie Edwards at the pay per view. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be Dango's last professional wrestling match, he says. And next week he's going to introduce a new member of the system on Impact. He tells Eddie Edwards, Dirty Dango tells Eddie Edwards to pull the trigger, or he will. So we'll see how that shakes out at Genesis Saturday. So Genesis is looking like a pretty cool card. I'm not gonna lie. They show a package of Kazarian calling a shot on Santana for his world title, and then they're just hyping that match coming up. Carlos Silva comes out and he brings out Dixie Carter to booze. She thanks him for 24 years. She is so proud of TNA. And just another chorus of boos. Bubba Ray Dudley comes out. Big pop, big pop. And then he stares her down and gives her a hug. So, mixed reaction to that. So, Bully Ray is going to be on color commentary for this main event, TNA World Title match. Santana gonna challenge the world champion Kazarian, who, bound for glory, Santana won the world title, but Kazarian called his shot and took the title from Santana. So this is a grudge match. Kazarian said he's the only star in Texas, and the crowd boos. TNA was doing this injury report, and they talked about Santana's arm, so I think that came back to haunt him, because that's one of the first things Kazarian started doing was going after the arm. And then the crowd says you suck to Kazarian, so that means, he's doing a good job of making them not like him. So I think Kazarian's just been a really good guy for TNA. I mean, I think he just loves TNA and is just proud of it. So Santana ends up winning this match after hitting two of his finishes. A spin, spin the blocks. I can't read my own writing. I have doctor's handwriting. It's just terrible. Carlos Silva comes out, though, after this. He pins Kazarian. Carlos Silva comes out, gives him the belt. Everyone's happy. Everyone goes home. I don't have a problem with the production. I think it was good. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to give him a shot, and we're going to see where it goes. I liked the show. I think it was good. So, guys, I'm out of here. Check me out, Unprofessional Radio on Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. I'm on Instagram, Unprofessional Radio 95, so check it out. I'm out of here. I don't know what I'm covering next. See what piques my interest. Maybe Genesis, maybe. And then we'll go from there. Alright, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. It's another beautiful day to be alive, by the way.